Instant noodles seem like a simple, almost elemental product, a dry block, a flavor packet, and a few minutes of waiting. However, behind that speed lies an extremely precise industrial process designed to produce enormous quantities without losing uniformity, texture, or stability. Nothing is left to chance. The selection of the wheat, the type of milling, the elasticity of the dough, the exact thickness of the strand, the steaming, the drying or frying, and even the composition of the seasoning are part of a continuous chain where each stage affects the final result. What reaches the consumer as a cheap and practical meal is, in reality, the result of very refined food engineering. In large production plants, tons of raw materials are converted daily into millions of portions ready to travel to supermarkets, warehouses, and vending machines all over the world. Everything begins long before the visible idea of a noodle even exists. The real origin is in the wheat, a raw material that seems common but is selected in this industry with very strict criteria. Not just any variety is suitable for manufacturing instant noodles. The flour must have a precise balance of proteins, starches, and water absorption capacity. If the protein content is too low, the dough loses strength and breaks easily. If it is too high, the result can be a noodle that is too hard or less pleasant upon rehydration. For this reason, large factories work with very specific technical specifications and with suppliers capable of maintaining that quality batch after batch. When the trucks arrive at the plant, the wheat or flour first passes through reception and control systems. Samples are taken there to verify moisture, purity, particle size, and gluten level. The absence of impurities that could affect the flavor, safety, or behavior of the dough during processing is also checked. In a modern industrial line, these verifications are carried out continuously with automatic equipment and human supervision. The objective is clear: every ton of raw material must behave the same as the previous one. If the plant receives grain instead of finished flour, the process continues with mechanical cleaning. The wheat passes through sieves, air separators, magnets, and classification systems that remove dust, vegetable fragments, small stones, or metal particles. Then it enters the milling stage, where a series of rollers crush and refine it until a homogeneous flour is obtained. That flour is transported to closed silos, protected from humidity and environmental variations. There it remains ready to enter the most important part of the production start, the formation of the dough. The base mix seems simple, but it requires exact dosing. Water, salt, and certain authorized food additives are added to the flour, whose function is not to manufacture the product artificially, but to stabilize it. Some acidity regulators help the dough respond better to kneading. Other components improve the color, elasticity, or structural strength of the noodle. In some formulations, kansui or equivalent substances are used, very common in certain Asian noodles, to provide firmness and a characteristic texture. All this occurs inside large-capacity industrial mixers where mechanical paddles rotate at a controlled speed to distribute the water uniformly. The goal here is not a smooth dough like that of bread, but a granular and then cohesive structure, capable of compacting without losing flexibility. Hydration must be sufficient to activate the proteins and allow the internal gluten network to form, but not so high as to make the dough sticky or difficult to laminate. In mass production, a minimal deviation in moisture can alter hundreds of thousands of servings. Therefore, the water temperature, mixing time, and agitation speed are programmed in detail. Once this phase is finished, the dough is left to rest briefly or goes directly to a pre-compaction stage, depending on the line design. During that moment, the moisture is better distributed within the flour and the structure gains stability. That small adjustment is fundamental because the dough leaving this area is no longer a simple mixture of ingredients, but the physical starting point for millions of noodle blocks. What happens next is the transformation of a formless paste into a continuous sheet. The dough enters compression rollers that flatten and unify it. In the first passes, it still looks rough and somewhat irregular, but with each compression, it gains cohesion. Afterward, successive pairs of cylinders stretch it until reducing the thickness with enormous precision. The final thickness must remain within minimal margins because the industrial cooking time as well as the future rehydration at home will depend on it. At the end of this stretch, the dough already has the appearance of a uniform, continuous and flexible band. They are not yet noodles, but the raw material has already left behind its original form. The wheat, which arrived as grain or flour, has been cleaned, analyzed, mixed and transformed into a stable technical base. In this phase, much of the final result is defined. The firmness of the strand, the resistance to transport, the capacity to absorb hot water, and the mouthfeel. All the rest of the process depends on this first construction having been done with accuracy. With the dough already stabilized, the line enters a phase of continuous transformation where speed and mechanical precision work together. The laminated band moves through new calibrated rollers that continue to refine the thickness until reaching the exact point required by the recipe. It is not just about making a thinner sheet. It is also necessary to ensure a uniform density across the entire surface, without drier or thicker areas or unequal tension. In a large-scale factory, that control is essential because a small irregularity is multiplied by thousands along the line. When the sheet reaches its final thickness, it passes to the cutting blades. These are sets of parallel metal discs that convert it into long, thin and continuous strands. Immediately, the image that already begins to look familiar appears. Ribbons of fresh, flexible and still raw noodles moving at high speed over the conveyor system. The separation between blades defines the width of the noodle. The design of the strand, rounder or flatter, can vary according to the final product to be manufactured. However, an essential feature is still missing: the waviness. Instant noodles are not presented straight by chance. That curly shape serves several functions. First, it allows more noodle length to be concentrated in less space, which facilitates the molding of the block. Second, it improves water circulation during rehydration. Third, it provides a visual and physical texture that the consumer immediately associates with this type of product. To achieve that shape, the line employs conveyors with controlled speed differences or mechanical systems that gently compress the newly cut strand. The result is that very characteristic zigzag pattern. Then comes the portioning. The continuous ribbon of wavy noodles is divided into segments with the exact weight and size that each portion will have. In some plants, these segments are deposited directly into rectangular or circular molds, depending on whether the final product will be in a packet or a cup. The molds do not only give shape, they also help maintain the compact structure during the thermal stages that follow. Once molded, the blocks enter the steaming stage. This is one of the most determining phases of the entire process because here the noodles stop being raw dough and become a pre-cooked food. The steam tunnels function as closed chambers where temperature, pressure and time are calculated to the second. The moist heat penetrates the block, gelatinizes part of the starch and finishes fixing the protein structure. Simply put, the noodle acquires the basic texture that it will later recover upon contact with the consumer's hot water. Steaming also has a fundamental sanitary function. It reduces the microbial load and stabilizes the product for subsequent stages. But here the exact point is crucial. If the steam acts for too little time, the center of the block may remain insufficiently cooked. If it acts too long, the noodle loses structural capacity and could become fragile or excessively soft upon rehydration. For this reason, modern plants integrate sensors, thermal controls, and automatic systems that correct deviations in real time. Upon leaving the tunnel, the blocks already seem very close to the final product, but they still contain too much moisture to be preserved for months. At this moment, they are technically cooked noodles, although unstable for storage. They need to lose water quickly without destroying the spongy structure that will allow for their future instant preparation. Before moving to the next phase, some lines include a brief cooling or a stabilization of the block to avoid deformations. This step helps the product maintain its shape and better withstand subsequent treatment. To the naked eye, the process seems linear and simple. In reality, every second of this stage decides the final quality of the food. The uniformity of the cut, the waviness pattern, the weight per portion, and the intensity of the cooking determine whether the consumer will get a firm, elastic, and pleasant noodle or a brittle block that falls apart too quickly. Here lies one of the great secrets of the instant noodle industry. The product is not raw and dry inside the packaging. It has already been industrially prepared to a very specific point. What the consumer does later at home is not cooking from scratch, but returning water and temperature to an already constructed structure. That is the reason why a few minutes are enough to serve it. The speed is not magic, but the result of a perfectly designed technical chain. When the blocks leave this phase, they already have shape, initial cooking, and structural stability. But they still do not possess the condition that truly defines instant noodles, the ability to be preserved for long periods and revive almost instantly upon contact with boiling water. This property depends on the next industrial transformation. The next objective of the factory is to remove most of the moisture trapped inside the block without ruining the structure that was so difficult to build. To achieve this, many traditional lines resort to quick frying in hot oil. The noodle blocks pass through industrial fryers where they remain for only a few moments, long enough for much of the internal water to evaporate rapidly. This violent exit of moisture leaves a network of small spaces inside the block. That porosity is the key to the product. Thanks to it, when hot water is added later, the liquid penetrates quickly and rehydrates the noodle in a few minutes. Frying does not seek to brown, as in a domestic kitchen, but to dry and stabilize. The oil temperature, immersion time, and fat composition must be controlled with great precision. If the process is insufficient, the residual moisture content can compromise the shelf life. If it is excessive, the product may acquire unwanted flavors, darken too much, or become brittle. After leaving the fryer, the blocks pass through draining and cooling systems that remove surface oil and help stabilize the product before packaging. There are also lines that use hot air drying instead of frying, especially for certain varieties that seek a different nutritional profile. In those cases, the principle is the same. Reduce moisture to a safe level and maintain the porous structure that allows for rapid preparation. The technique changes, but not the industrial logic. While the noodles travel through their thermal stretch, in another part of the factory, an equally important parallel production is developed, that of the seasonings. Without that component, the product would only be a neutral base. The flavor packets are the element that defines the commercial identity of each variety. Salt, sugar, ground spices, meat or seafood extracts, vegetable powders, glutamate or other authorized flavor enhancers, and aromatic compounds designed to reproduce specific profiles such as chicken, beef, curry, miso, shrimp, or Korean spicy are mixed there. The formulation of these packets is extremely sensitive. Not only does the taste matter, but also the solubility, the stability during storage, and the compatibility with fat or flavored oil. Some versions include dehydrated vegetables, small textured proteins, or flaked onions. Others add separate packets of oil with chili, sesame, garlic, or toasted aromas. In more complex lines, concentrated sauces are even incorporated. Each component must be dosed with millimetric precision and packaged in materials capable of protecting it from moisture and oxygen. When the noodle blocks are already dry and cold, the final assembly stage arrives. Machines dose each portion, place it in its packaging, and automatically add the corresponding packets. If the format is in a bag, the block enters first, and then the seasonings are added. If it is in a cup or tub, the process adjusts to the rigid container. Next comes the sealing, a decisive phase for preservation. The packaging must prevent the entry of air, moisture, and external contaminants. A defective closure can ruin the shelf life of the entire batch. Immediately afterward, the final controls appear. The total weight, the correct presence of each packet, the integrity of the seal, the legibility of the date, and the absence of physical damage are verified. Many plants use cameras, metal detectors, dynamic scales, and laboratory sampling to ensure that nothing falls out of specification. Only then can the product move on to automatic boxing and palletizing. From there, another less visible but equally important phase begins: global logistics. The packages are grouped into boxes, the boxes onto pallets, and the pallets into trucks or containers. What a few hours earlier was flour stored in silos now becomes merchandise ready to travel thousands of kilometers. Supermarkets, neighborhood stores, gas stations, e-commerce platforms, and wholesale distributors receive a product that has been designed to withstand transport, storage, and commercial rotation without losing functionality. That is the true industrial achievement of instant noodles. It does not consist only of manufacturing dry pasta. It consists of mass-producing a stable, uniform, cheap, light, and quick-to-prepare food, with a prolonged shelf life and a recognizable sensory experience anywhere in the world. Behind every block there is a perfectly synchronized chain: selection of raw materials, dough formation, laminating, cutting, waving, cooking, drying, seasoning, formulation, sealing, and distribution. Therefore, when a package is opened and in a few minutes a steaming soup or a plate of noodles ready to eat appears, what is seen is not a simple convenience product. It is the final version of a huge, continuous and millimetric industrial process in which wheat ends up converted into one of the fastest and most universalized meals of the modern era.
Delicious noodles everywhere.
Cheers!
Quick and absolutely delicious.
Hit the spot!